Good morning. Welcome to Morning Brew with yes, it's your girl Germaine. And another beautiful day. Another beautiful day to come to sit, take a few minutes out of the day and spend some time with you if you're available for a quick stop in. Let me start my Instagram over here. Okay. So, if you are available for a few minutes and you want to stop by for a quick coffee and conversation, to get your day started, even though it's already 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, I welcome you. Come join me. I'm drinking, what am I drinking? Coffee, definitely, because I'm feeling a little sluggish this morning. I've been up really early, went out for my morning walk today and clear my mind, get my thoughts together, to be productive today. And so I am drinking pecan something. I can't remember. It's good though. But we are here. Will not keep you long. Today is Monday, so as you know, we bring in Teresa Merritt Watson to talk about the Blacks in fact for the day. So she will be joining us a little later in the conversation. But let's get started in today's topic. Today's topic is just because you're busy doesn't mean you're moving forward. Sometimes you just feel like that. You feel like, I'm busy, busy, busy. That's like a keyword that everybody tends to gravitate to, you know, and people start responding, I know you're busy, but can you? So is that how we want to be clearly defined as always being busy? And a lot of times, are you feeling like you're moving forward? So I want to talk a little bit about that today. So before we get started, let's just take a pause so we can pour into purpose. Okay. All right, guys. So, you know, excuse me. I want to talk. Well, let me just open up by saying, we live in a culture that celebrates busyness. Yes, we're busy. We are busy, busy, busy. We celebrate it. We do. We wear it as a badge of honor. We do. So I want to ask, people ask, how are you doing? And the most common response is busy. So we have summed our life up to just being busy. When people ask, how are you doing? Right? But being busy and being productive are not the same thing. They're not the same thing, but we tend to want to make them the same thing, right? We equate being busy to being productive. Being busy and being purposeful are definitely not the same thing. Many people are exhausted because they're constantly moving, responding, attending, managing, and holding yet um and handling, let me say that, and handling, right? Yet when they stop long enough to reflect, they realize they haven't actually moved any closer to the life they desire. I just want you guys, this is just thought, is food for thought. I want you to think about it, okay? I just want you to think about it. Because we find ourselves being so busy, 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 are we really moving forward to what we desire in life? Okay, I'm just planting some seeds, for you to think about. All right, so let me get a drink of my coffee. My throat's feeling a little dry. That's so good. All right. So I just want to say activity can make us feel accomplished while distraction quietly steals our progress. Want me to say that again? Let me say that again. Activity can make us feel accomplished, while distraction quietly stills our progress. Let that sit with you for a few minutes. You know, in our busy life, day to day, we wake up busy, right? We wake up with busyness on our mind. But I really want you to start looking at this thing a little differently to make sure you're not just busy, but you're also moving forward towards your desired goals, towards your purpose, towards the things you want to accomplish. So, in today's conversation, I just want to extend an invitation to examine whether your movement is producing momentum or simply creating motion. So I want to invite you to examine that today with me, okay? All right, guys. So let's get into our pour into purpose segment. Let's start pouring a little bit more. Let's, you know, figure this thing out together. Busyness. So, all right, let me do this. Hold on one second. Let me get myself together. Excuse me. All right, so I want to talk about this. Are you moving or just managing? Are you moving or are you just managing? Remember, this is an invitation for you. I want you to really examine you. If you are that person that everyone now say, I know you're busy. You're busy. You're busy. If it's always coming back to that, I want you to really think about considering some different things today, okay, as we talk through some things. So, are you moving or just managing? Many of us, we spend our days putting out fires, answering emails, returning calls, solving problems, handling emergencies, meeting everyone's expectation. Wow, those things may be necessary. They aren't always moving us forward toward our purpose. So, ask yourself this: if I keep exactly if I keep doing exactly what I'm doing today, where will I be in 6 months from now? It's something to think about. It is definitely something to think about. All right, so being occupied isn't the same as being aligned. There is a difference. Being occupied, busy, busy, doing. It's not the same as you being aligned, being intentional, working towards purpose, moving forward in the right direction. Two different things. So please make sure you separate them out and really examine and evaluate which one are you doing? Are you just being occupied or are you being aligned? All right. Let's continue to pour just a little bit more. Progress requires intention. Progress requires intention. Purposeful people don't just fill their calendars. No, they prioritize what matters. Listen, I am getting so much out of today's message, always first partaker of my own morning brew messages. So, there was a time before really coming into a place of understanding being clear, being structured, putting systems in place to make you more efficient can be very helpful, right? But still being open because sometimes God may have other plans for you. So being able to shift and adjust also throughout the process when needed. Excuse me. That's water. Okay. So let me continue on with pouring into purpose. So purposeful people don't just fill their calendars. No, they prioritize what matters. Every yes costs something. Every yes costs something. Every commitment takes time, energy, attention, and focus. Let me say that again. Every commitment takes time, energy, attention, and focus. Sometimes the reason we're stuck isn't because we need more opportunities. No, sometimes it could be because we need fewer distractions. I learned from Dr. V, who's one of my mentors, right? Who comes on the third Thursday of every month, the champion leader. So when I think about some of our conversations that we've had for him to really help get me to a place of being clear with some things, this kind of aligns with that, right? I Him being able to go through some examples of I'm sorry, going through some examples of sometimes it's okay to say no, because if not, you saying yes will commit you to things that may take you out or off course for where you're going. And so it's being intentional once again. When you say yes, yes will cost you something. Okay. Yes is a commitment. You are committing to do something, and it could cost you something, whether it's pain because it wasn't time to say yes to that, and you probably should have told no, that you didn't have the availability to start with that, or it's going to cost you something. So whether it's time, your energy, your commitment, your focus, it costs something. So that sticks with me when he was teaching me and telling me that it's okay, because when you're focused and you're on assignment, distractions can easily come to deter you off of that pathway. So you have to really be mindful and be okay with saying, at this time I don't have the availability, nor do I have the capacity to really be able to shift and take on that responsibility. So the timing right now may not work for me. you know you didn't just come out and say no. You really gave an honest reason why you couldn't do it, because you are already focused on what you need to accomplish. So you have already allotted your time, your energy, your finances, whatever it may be, to completing that task, right? Okay. All right. So let me just bring this back. So, and this goes back to progress requires intention. That's the segment that we're in right now for Pour into Purpose. Sometimes the reason we're stuck isn't because we need more opportunities. Nope. It's because we may need fewer distractions. So sometimes saying no is a blessing, not a curse, right? The question isn't, am I busy? The question is, am I building something meaningful? And I've had to really stop and just ask myself that, because I don't want to always be known as the person that, oh, I know you're so busy. You're so busy. You're so busy. I don't want to be known as that person, and I tend to get that a lot. So I have to ask myself, what am I projecting out there? What am I putting out there? you know Busy is good, but I'm being very intentional because I know that I am in the building process. We're building, and the building process isn't just for my benefit. The building process is also being able to bless others as they're going through their mission, vision, and purpose in life, right? And so I had to stop to be clear where I was. And you can't be for everybody. No, you can't. And you have to be okay with that, knowing that. All right. All right, guys, let's pour into this last segment before we bring our guest up, Teresa Merritt Watson, who's going to talk to us about the Black Sin Fact for the day. All right. So, also, stop measuring motion and start measuring growth. Whew, just because I'm moving and I feel like I'm everywhere and people see I'm everywhere, that's motion. Stop measuring motion and start measuring growth. Does all that traffic or does all that movement, is it growing something? Are you growing something? Is it bringing you somewhere? Where are you going? Right? So, growth leaves evidence. So I want you to ask yourself, what have you completed? What have you learned? What have you improved? And what have you delegated? And what have you released? If your answer is full, but your purpose is starving, if your schedule is full and your purpose is starving, something in there needs to change. So if your schedule is full, yep, I'm booked and busy. Booked and busy. that's a phrase that goes around. Yep, booked and busy. Okay, booked and busy doesn't equate to growth. You think about that. Purpose isn't found in doing more. No, purpose is found in doing what matters most. Okay, guys, I hope you guys got that. And in this time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a pause so we can bring up Teresa Merritt Watson, and we're going to talk about our Blacks in Fact for the Day. So let me bring her into the studio with us. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. You look so beautiful, so bright, and like full of life, and happy to see
Well,
another day, right? Amen.
yes, I'm definitely happy to see another day. And it is hot,
It is.
but lovely.
It is. It's already 71 degrees up here, and it's only going to get hotter. But you're in the South, so I know it's already past 71 degrees down there.
It's 85.
Yeah. Well, let's bring up our Blacks in Facts so we can talk all about it. Okay. Hold on one
Okay.
second. Let's see what the Blacks in Fact is for the day.
Blacks In, we celebrate the birth of Charles W. Chestnut, one of the first black authors to gain national recognition in American literature. Born on June 8, 1858, Chestnut used his writing to challenge racial stereotypes and tell powerful stories about life in post-Civil War America. His novels and short stories opened doors for future generations of black writers and thinkers. At a time when opportunities were limited, he chose courage, education, and truth as his tools for change. More than a century later, his words continue to inspire conversations about identity, justice, and equality. See you next time on Blacks In.
All right. We are back. So let's talk a little bit about, excuse me. I don't know. I got this little crazy cough. My throat is a little scratchy, and I hope I am not catching a cold. So,
Well,
all right.
make sure you drink water.
Absolutely. I have my water here, but I also have my coffee. I don't know. I just needed a boost of energy. So and I wasn't going to do coffee today, but I had to. Okay. So let's talk about our Blacks in Fact for the day, Teresa.
Once again, this is a very exciting young man, leader, I should say, and it fits right into your topic. So I will get in. Charles W. Chestnut. He's very powerful. The presentation gave you something. He was the first African American writer to gain recognition in mainstream American literature. That's important, and because he led the charge on our writing.
Yes.
This, and I'll repeat some of the things that you just heard, but his writing challenged segregation and stereotypes about African American. He explored complex issues of race, identity, education, and social justice. Now, he was also an educator, he was a lawyer, and a business leader. He wrote some of the books that he'd written was Country Women, The Wife of His Youth, and other stories on Colored Line, The House Behind the Cedar, I think it is, and The Marriage of Tradition. I think I get that right. So now his contribution to education and civil rights was profound. He was very active in that. He believed Chestnut, and like W.E. Du Bois, he believed that education was a powerful tool for advancement for our people. He worked and highlighted the challenges African Americans faced after slavery and encouraged readers to think critically and think about equality and justice. And that critical thinking component is something that we advocate, and this is what our summer program will be advocating because it is such a powerful tool. And if you lack it, that is really harder on our children. He also was an active, very active in civil rights, and he supported organization, and he gave away a lot of money. Um, um, to improve opportunity for African Americans. So he wasn't just a talker; he actually was a doer. Um, Now, one of the things that you should know about Chestnut is that he worked at many different schools, and
Hmm.
he worked at Fayetteville State, and those schools were called the normal schools. And but the Fayetteville State Library to this day is named the Charles W. Chestnut Library.
Mm,
Yes, it is.
okay.
Um, so I think when we would definitely be discussing him during the summer, and so that we can learn a lot more about him. You know, he started out at teaching at Howard School, where he was a principal. This was in 1867
Oh,
that he
wow.
did that. He was teaching informal slaves, and then he attended the school as a student and became a teacher where he attended school. And this was in 1880, I think it was. He became a
Hmm.
principal of, like I said, as a color. It always get me when I read it because Central, a lot of the African American HBCUs, they were called colored normal schools. And, so, um, and so that is one of the true facts about him is that he was constantly moving in the education around. He ended up at Howard University, and so that is a synopsis of him, and he is honored all over, well known
Yes.
all over. And still, from the time that he was born until now, until 1880, when they named the library, it is still called the Charles Chestnut
Wow.
uh, Library.
You know, when I first got the Black Sin Fact this morning to be able to share, and I want to say hello to Harmon Entertainment Group over on Instagram. When I got the fact, knowing that he was one of the first African American literary authors, that just did something for me as a publisher. Someone sharing the power of their story, not holding it in, but that became the foundation. I mean, from what he's gone through and his legacy, being able to document that in his bodies of work, through literature,
Yeah,
it's so important that we don't just live this life, but what are you leaving behind? We're still talking about him today. He's still, like you said, he still has his name up in places. That's legacy, due to his body of work, what he was passionate about. And so he left something here on the earth for us. And if we can learn anything, take that away. What are you doing? And it does, it aligns so perfectly with our message today. Don't just be busy. Don't just be busy doing, but are you moving forward? Are you building legacy? Is it purposeful, the body of work? Because I no longer want to be known for just being busy. You know, you want to be known just like Charles Chestnut was for building legacy, establishing something that we can still learn from today. And he's no
he
longer
actually
here with
did
us.
that.
Absolutely.
And not, as I read about him, he was totally involved and committed. That was, you know,
Mm,
reserving the legacy of Black people was very important for him. And he spent not just his time, but he also spent his money. And,
yes. He
and so he,
believed in it.
yeah, he was
Excuse me.
committed.
Yes. I
He,
love that.
yeah, he was committed to doing that. So
Yep.
he's a wonderful man. We will be reading more about him over the summer in
Mhm.
the Blacks in Summer Academy.
Yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
I put the website link in the comments so people know how to connect, find out the initiatives that's going on, the summer program. So let's talk a little bit about it.
Well, I'm very excited. I'm still very excited. We're going to go over. First, I want to tell people we have K through 5, and
Yes.
they're separated out K1 to second and third grade, fourth and fifth grade. And so we're going to be talking about reading, vocabulary that all associated with reading, and black facts. And you will get black facts during the week that you need to reiterate it and regurgitate several times so you learn about the great things that African Americans have done in
Yes.
this, African Americans have done. And then we have math. We have more creative thinking math. And except for the kindergarten, we do have the counts and things because they're learning their numbers. The second and third graders will have more creative and activity math that they can engage in so
Okay.
that they can learn there. And so the same thing with fifth graders. Their reading is very active as well. And then each session, we will be reading a book 1 week, 1 week, 1 week through each one of the grades. So I am and we talk about innovation because we're bringing
Yeah.
back creativity, technology. We talked about engineering. And so we want kids to be able to take things in their environment and work with it. Something simple, as we talked about, why do water turn into ice when you put it in a freezer? You know,
Ex-
those kind of things. How can I make a banana popsicle, put the little stick in it, put it in the freezer, still a banana, you know?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's my popsicle, and it's tasting really good, you know? So so I'm showing the actual the banana process, and it's liquid. I put it in the freezer for a few hours, and I come back and have like a wonderful popsicle. This could be any type of fruit, anything that you want to do. I will showcase a table I did not have. I was finished with the towels and things like that. End up breaking it up and making a little table out of it. So you can get creative and solving problems. And how do you solve problems? We have different strategies for mathematics and being innovative. Each one of the students will be asked to create something for their ending project.
I love that.
And it could be the ice cycle. It could be anything that they have at home. Um,
Hmm.
and the package will go out when they register.
Okay. I
They
love
get,
that.
they get a package. That's why it's important that if you don't register, and you register for your age group, and you get to your reading material, you get a pack of seeds for you to plant, just so you can see something germinate. Um, you
It's
get a little
really
bag,
interactive, you
yes, you
know?
get a little bag of dirt.
Yeah.
Uh, so yes.
I can see this is right in alignment with who you are. You just light up when you talk about it, being able to empower our young minds today with positivity, not all the negative stuff that they have that they're challenged with that's it before them. So I love that. I want to
Well,
see.
we do, it's free for children, but we do
Yes.
ask your listeners to make a donation, not a donation, a contribution. Actually, we ask them to sponsor a child.
Okay.
To
If
sponsor
it's
a
okay,
child.
I want to pull up the site, okay, while
Okay.
you're talking, so people can see.
And any
You
amount would do. If you don't sponsor a full child, you could just sponsor whatever
HF.
amount you want.
Okay. Okay. Let me pull this up so we can have it on the screen as well. All right. The Black Sin Academy. It's here. Now,
And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
when you click on sponsor a child,
Yep.
it
Let's go
takes you
there.
right there. And you can do as little as $5, where you have to put it in others, and you just put your information in, and it goes.
Perfect. So we will definitely make sure we are contributing to supporting the Blacks In Academy, because if anyone out there, you have a child and you're looking for something extra for that child to be doing during the summer, this is the perfect, let me go back. This is the perfect resource and opportunity for your children to engage, and their minds are being challenged. It's interactive, so it's not just sitting with a book in front of them.
Right.
So this and if you don't have any children and you want to sponsor children, like she said, just go to the website, click on sponsor. So Teresa, I'm going to just click on register now so they could just see what the process is.
It's not too
It's
comprehensive.
it's just filling out the form, giving your information so she knows how to position and place your child for the summer course, the summer program. Okay. Easy enough, right?
Easy
It's
enough.
easy enough. Easy enough. But yes, definitely stop by. Let me pull up once again on the website so people know exactly how to connect. That's the website, www.black-in.com will bring you right over here to the Black Sin Academy website. Okay, for more information, details. If you have any questions, please, you can definitely connect with soon to be Dr. Teresa Merritt Watson. I love saying that because I know how hard you worked for that. So,
Yes.
but you can definitely go in, and I'm just scrolling through so you could see some different things, but get the information that you need. And when does it officially start?
June 22nd.
June 22nd. So that gives you about 2 weeks or maybe slightly less, but there's time. So we're going to continue to push this forward as well. And let's come back to the we're definitely going to continue to push this forward because I so believe in what you're doing. That's why we at Morning Brew, HOV Publishing, we are partnered with you. And on that note, any parting words you would like to say?
Well, I do want to say that as I read about different um, innovators, the one thing I will tell you is that it's real important that we learn our history. I really believe that if we know who we are, we know the greatness that is with us, in us. When
Mhm.
people present other people, we know we have people in our bank, in our reserve, to be able to come out and say, "Oh, we, Carter did this, or W. Du Bois did this," even if it's not
Yes,
taught to us. So I think that just knowing is more than just knowing.
that's
There's
right.
many things that we have to do, but if you don't know it, you have no tools to start with. So,
Yeah, definitely. I always say a lack of knowledge could really hurt us more so
and
than
it
help
has
us.
hurt us. And
Absolutely.
so, and I do want to tell you this last thing. We will be talking about business and entrepreneurship, asking our students to create their own business.
I
Um,
love that.
so that's one of the innovative things that I'm working with right now is making sure that we can create a business. I don't give you all the tools that you need, but you to give you a chance to talk to your parents and things. But I give you the basic tools.
I love
So
that. Well, listen,
yes,
if you ever need me to come in as a speaker guest to introduce, I will be more than happy to do just that
I am
when it
looking
talks
forward
about
to it.
building a business.
Thank you.
Teresa, thank you so much. As always, another Blacks in Fact with Teresa Merritt Watson, because our history is more than a month, it's our legacy.
Again,
So thank
it's
you
our
so much.
life.
It's our
Thank
life.
you.
Yes. Thank you so much for stopping in with the Blacks in Fact for the day. And we will definitely be in touch. And we look forward to seeing you on our next Blacks in Fact.
Thank you. Bye bye. I look
You're
forward to
welcome.
it.
Have a great one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
I love that segment, Our Blacks in Fact. Yes, and bringing her in to talk about it. So, but let's get into this is a place we all can take part in before we bring this all to a close. Okay, fair enough. All right, guys. So, once again, let's talk about just because you're busy doesn't mean you're moving forward. That's today's morning brew. And these are two questions that I want to leave with you or challenge you with. Okay. What is currently consuming most of your time? What is currently consuming most of your time? Okay. Number two, is it producing growth or simply keeping you occupied? And you know what? I'm going to add another one. What is one thing you can eliminate this week to create more space for purpose? Let me say that again. What is one thing you can eliminate this week to create more space for purpose? All right, guys, I'm leaving that with you. Those are some reflection questions. Didn't even put it up, but those are our reflection questions that, yes, I want to leave with you. What is currently consuming most of your time? Is it producing growth or simply keeping you occupied? In the next one, what is one thing you can eliminate this week to create more space for purpose? All right, I'm gonna leave those with you because I'm already processing for myself. Yep, I can already see. I want to produce growth. Yes, I don't just want to be occupying space and time. I want it to be purposeful. Okay. All right, guys, we're getting into our final sip so we can bring it all to a close. And I thank you and appreciate you so much. So if you want to start this from the beginning, please make sure you go over to our YouTube channel, Morning Brew with Germaine. Make sure you click on the like, the subscribe, and hey, leave us a comment if any of this resonates with you. Okay. So that's the vault where it's easy to access all of our Morning Brew content. And hey, and if you are someone that wants to be a part of the Morning Brew, then you can absolutely do that. You can do that by sharing your story, the power of your story on Morning Brew, or coming on as a guest in our Mix Blend Wednesday to talk about some things that, you know, from your personal experiences in life and how you can help pass that or pay that forward for our audience to learn from you as well. Or listen, if you just want to sow a seed, you know, you can do that as well. I always keep it scrolling at the bottom of our screen, the ways that you can support us. So I appreciate that because it does take resources to continue on. But I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate you for just taking a few minutes out of your day to stop by and enjoy coffee and conversation or whatever you might be drinking. So now let's bring this to a final sip. Okay, before we head out, you know, sometimes the greatest breakthrough isn't adding something new, it's moving what no longer belongs. Let me say that again. Sometimes the greatest breakthrough isn't adding something new, it's moving what no longer belongs. So don't just keep things there that are not serving purpose anymore for you. Okay. They're not servicing you. They're not serving you anymore. So it's okay to cut away the fat, right? Let's reduce some things. Let's clean out. It's springtime. Let's do some spring cleaning. Okay. To get ready for the summer and fall months. Okay. All right. So busyness can create the illusion of progress. Did you hear me? Busyness can create the illusion of progress, but purpose requires direction. That's saying a lot. Do you want to just create the illusion and give a false narrative of what's really happening? Or do you want to be purposeful, intentional? Because purpose will require some direction. All right. Don't confuse movement with momentum. Mm-mm. Don't confuse activity with achievement. And don't confuse a full calendar with a fulfilled life. I hope you were able to get some clarity on just because you're busy, are you moving forward? Is it purposeful? Is it productive? Or do you just want to look the part? It's up to you. All right. So, you guys, you know how we do. Let's sip slow. Pause long enough to evaluate where your energy is going. Sip deep. Be honest. Be honest about what's happening, what's helping you grow, and what's keeping you busy. Be honest about it, okay? And then simple purpose, choosing progress over pressure and alignment over activity. Because just because you're moving doesn't mean you're advancing. Guys, I'm going to leave that with you today. I hope something resonated with you. You know, once again, just because you're busy doesn't mean you're moving forward. So please make sure if you miss some things, go back and listen and see how can you change that narrative and not make busy be such a priority in your life, consuming up so much of your time and your space, especially if it's not effective for you, if it's not helping you to grow, to move forward in purpose, to build legacy. You have to reevaluate some things and really ask yourself the hard questions. All right. So thank you once again. I'm going to leave you with that, and we will see you tomorrow morning brew with Germaine. Have a great day. Bye now.